Guys, today we are going to make my jalapeno poppers. So what you want to do first is just buy some decent sized jalapenos, kind of a bigger size jalapeno, because you're going to be stuffing cream cheese in it, and so you don't want them to be super shallow or small, or else you're not going to be able to get much filling in them. So and buy as many as you want. Remember, you're going to be cutting them in half, so just if you buy 4 jalapenos, that gives you 8 poppers. And the way that you prep the jalapenos is I just cut off the stem. I already did this part, and then I realized that I wanted to record, so I can't show it to you. But you cut off the stem part, just the very tippy top, and then you cut it right down the middle horizontally in half, and then you see it has the seeds inside. And all you're going to do is take a spoon and just scoop out all the seeds and scrape it into the trash. So that way you have like a hollow boat like that. And you're going to do that to all your jalapenos, and then just set them aside on a baking sheet lined with foil until you get them all done, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've mixed the cheddar completely in with the cream cheese, and I'm just going to show you how to stuff a couple of them. It's pretty easy and self-explanatory. So you take your little jalapeno boat, get a big scoop on, I use a tablespoon of the cream cheese mixture, and you just kind of scrape it and stuff it down in there, making sure that it's all filled up, like so. You just want to press it down to make sure that it's completely filled the boat, and then I just kind of scrape the top to make sure that it's flat, and there you go. And then I just set it over here on my baking sheet and go to the next one. This one's a little more shallow than that last one, but don't be shy with your filling unless you have just a little bit of cream cheese. I've run into that before where I didn't have enough cream cheese, so I had to kind of go a little less in each jalapeno. But if you have plenty of cream cheese, go big or go home. And again, you just take it, you just kind of scrape it on there, get all the cream cheese off the spoon, and then just use the back of your spoon to press it down and spread it out, and completely fill. It's okay if you get some cream cheese like I just did on the outside. It's not a big deal. But and then you just smooth the top down, because we're gonna bread these in panko, and I'll show you that next. But yeah, so there's 2. Set it aside on your baking sheet and go ahead and just stuff all of them. And at this point, you can just stick them in the fridge till you're ready for dinner. At that point, so you can prep them earlier in the morning or something like that. But after I finish stuffing these, and I'll show you the next step, because we're going to bread them. So you're going to need some flour, panko breadcrumbs, and like 2 eggs. If you only have 1 egg, I can show you how to stretch it to make it work. But for now, I'm just going to finish these, and I'll be back. Get all of your jalapenos prepped and ready, and the insides of them all scraped out, so you have your little boats. You're just going to set those aside, and then what you want to do is get some cream cheese, just plain cream cheese, in a bowl, and maybe just leave it sit out for like 30 minutes, just so it softens up a little bit. If you forget this step, it's not a big deal. You just have to work a little harder to stir everything. And so that's going to be the base of the stuffing for the jalapenos. What you add to that is completely up to you. Any kind of spices that you like. You could add some taco seasoning to the cream cheese mixture, some garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, cayenne, chipotle powder, whatever you want, or you could just do cream cheese. It's whatever you feel like. I have some of this in my refrigerator. It's a horseradish bacon cheddar that I got at the commissary, and I have some left. So I might just grate up a little bit of that and mix it in with the cream cheese, just to add some extra flavor and some zip from the horseradish. And so I'm probably just going to grate up a little bit of that. I can't really give you an amount of cream cheese that you're going to need. It all depends on how many jalapenos you're preparing. So I bought 4 big jalapenos, so I have 8. And this is probably about a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of cream cheese. And then I'm just gonna grate up probably like a 1/4 cup of this horseradish cheddar to mix in with it. And that should fill them. I'll let you know if it doesn't, but once I get those all mixed together, I'll show you what that looks like and then the next step. Okay, so I'm just finishing grating up the bacon horseradish cheddar here. Okay, and then, so that's all grated up. And I'm just gonna mix that, just take it, you might not need all of it. I think I grated up too much. So I'm just gonna mix this in with the cream cheese, get that all incorporated in there, and then I'll show you when I stuff the jalapenos. We are back to finish up our jalapeno poppers for our dinner tonight. So I want to show you what I did is I have 3 little stations here. I just use these little Tupperware dishes, and all you need really is any shallow dish or Tupperware container or anything that will fit the jalapeno in it, and you need 3. In one of them I have all-purpose flour, just about 3 tablespoons. The middle one has 2 eggs that are beaten, and then this third one here has panko breadcrumbs. You don't have to use panko breadcrumbs. I just like them because they're extra crispy. If you only have regular breadcrumbs, whatever kind you have, but these are the kind that I like because it does give it an extra crisp. So I'm going to go ahead and season up my panko with a little bit of salt and pepper just to give it a little extra seasoning. This is optional. You don't have to do this. You could add garlic powder, onion powder, whatever seasonings that you want to this as well. And then just kind of mix it up. So there we go. We have our 3 stations. Now, what you want to do is you want to have a dry hand and a wet hand, just because it starts to get gummy and gloppy on your fingers as you're breading them. So all you're going to do, have your baking sheet ready, and you're going to grab one of your poppers, just like that, that's already filled with the cream cheese. And this one will be my dry hand, my right hand. So I'm going to drop it into the flour and just kind of turn it over, coat it in flour, just like that. Just like roll it over a few times and then tap off the excess, and then you can see it's coated in flour. And then what I'm going to do is drop it straight into the egg. I'm going to use my wet hand, my left hand, and turn that over a few times. Get it coated in the egg. And the flour will help the egg stick. Okay, and then you're going to just let it drip a little bit. Okay, drop it into the panko, back to your dry hand, the right hand. I kind of give it a shake, and then I'm just going to rotate it all in this panko, roll it around, and sometimes I just sprinkle some on the top and pat it in, like that. And that's it. It's coated, and I put it right back on the same baking sheet. Let's do another one. So with my dry hand, my right hand, I take this, drop it into the flour. Okay, kind of give it a shake just to loosen up the flour. It sometimes gets like patted down. So I'm going to roll it all in here. With my right hand, drop it into the egg, switch to my left hand, the wet hand, rotate it around in the egg mixture. There we go. Make sure that it's completely coated in the egg. Pick it up, let the excess drip off, drop it in the panko, switch back to your dry hand, kind of shake it, and then I flip it over. Make sure it gets all nice and coated in that panko breadcrumbs. And again, this is probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of panko, 3 or 4 tablespoons of flour, 2 eggs. I'm going to sprinkle some on the top, pat it down, and then put it right over here on the baking sheet. So I'm going to continue doing the other 1, 2, 3, 4, the other 6 poppers, getting them all coated. while you're doing this, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then once they're all coated, I'm gonna lightly spray the tops with Pam cooking spray. And then I bake them for about 15 minutes. Keep an eye and make sure the tops aren't getting too brown. But 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. But I'll show you once they're all done before they go in the oven. It looks like when they are all breaded and ready to go into the oven, I'm just gonna take some of my Pam and just lightly spray the top of them. And then they are going to go into the oven, 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Check on them after 10 minutes if the tops are starting to get too brown. Rotate your pan or whatever, but around 15 minutes should be the sweet spot. But again, double check. If your tops aren't getting brown enough for you and you want them nice and crispy, you can always turn on the broiler for a couple of minutes to get them really crispy on the top. But I will show you what they look like when they come out. So the poppers were in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes, and then I put them under the broiler for about 2.5 minutes. And this, of course, they're gonna like slide. Oh, but that is what they look like, nice and crispy on the top and delicious. Let me see if I can grab one to show you. Not burning myself, so. There you go. There's the popper. It's all nice and crispy on the top. The cream cheese is very hot, so be careful when you bite into it. But that is my jalapeno poppers. We're having them with sliders tonight for dinner, so these are perfect to go with like burger night. So enjoy.